back to another map making episode. Welcome back. I'm going with something like welcome back to Law and Order, where we make the police procedural set in Waterdeep for our favourite shitter twit posters. Joining me today is Keeganzip, our very own Tenzo, the insane tortured artist.
That's me. Hi, everybody.
And we are back in the guard post, making our new base for the wardens and their associates. So, last week, actually, I think we're up to map making part 7 now, so we'll just need to change that. We'll do that in a little bit. So, last week we made ourselves some holding cells. We made a very funky and quite involved records archives area. We'd set up the meeting room where the wardens met with Mayrose. We'd set up a little makeshift office for Mayrose herself, and we started working on Waterdeep's first shower room.
Yeah, I liked that.
Yeah, well, Sunday is map day, or Saturday night if you're in Freedom Land. So we were also discussing what we'd do with some of these nooks and crannies. That eventually came to me. This is an area under renovation, so we're going to fill it with shit. Wood piles of wood, stuff underneath those white cloths people throw over things, some shelves. Yeah, we'll just turn it into a slightly messy area with, stuff that's been pushed to the side to make room for whatever. Although we started on the shower room, so I think we might jump back in there and see about making ourselves some sort of a locker room. Okay.
Now, are the showers a unisex situation?
I don't see why not,
Okay.
Maybe we can have maybe there can be like man hours and woman hours, but personally, it's a fantasy setting. It's a medieval sort of setting, communal bathing, probably not as big a deal, what with this being pre-Victorian era. You're not men, you're not women, you're just colleagues with nasty
It's
bodies.
a work thing.
It's a work thing. You go out bush in the military, you go out like way, way out bush, you just gotta have a shower. You come back in from the slums, from the sewers, you're not like, I smell rancid. I smell literally like a gelatinous ooze and 50,000 unwashed bodies. But there's a man in the shower. I guess I'll just sit here for another hour. Fuck it, Free the nipple. It could just be a hospital thing, after enough times having to have various people check, you just stop caring. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, my wife has worked in a hospital for a while. And she said that, like, once you've seen a few of them, you've seen them all. Something like that.
Yeah, pretty much.
I mean, that doesn't help. That doesn't help my confidence, but...
No, it's for real. Like, after a while, you just, like, you see all bodies of shapes and sizes. You see a few different bodies of different shapes and sizes. It just stops being a big deal, It's like, okay, cool, let's just get it over with.
Oh, yeah, so there's those shadows that I was telling you about.
Yeah, I'm loving that. So bit big. We need probably 2 areas that I can think of. We need our locker rooms and we need the loo. I'm not suggesting everyone needs to roleplay going to the loo. That's not the sort of heavy roleplay we're playing here. But we like to see these sorts of things on the map just to remind ourselves this is a living, breathing world. Actions have consequences. Eating requires shitting. Um, Fascinating, you know? Make the world come alive.
Truly.
Where do we get to toilet? Or was it bidet? No, it's toilet. We could try these fancier tin ones, but, you know, I think maybe that can come later on. That can be at the inventors' houses. You know, well, it's fascinating, old chap. The metal, you see, doesn't soak in the stink like the wood. Brilliant.
Gross.
Brilliant! I don't know if you ever got those in Freedom Land, the ads for Guinness, where these two Irish inventors are chatting. Explain the bottle to me again. Well,
That
the
sounds
bottle.
familiar.
It's a glass container, yes, and you put your Guinness in the glass container, and he like puts it up, and you take the container with you and drink it on the go. Drink beer on the go. Brilliant.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah, do it. Do it. Hello, Ryan. Good to see you again, mate.
What's up, Ryan?
This is Ryan Lechesi, who follows us on Twitter. He's a pretty dedicated guy. He's here all the time. He's a good guy
I think
to have
he's
a
a
chat
pretty
with.
big fan of Lenore, if I remember correctly.
That sounds about right, yes.
Is this what you're referring to? If I can get that to...
Yes, those guys. Explain your newest invention. It's called the fridge. The fridge? What does it do? You put your Guinness in the fridge, yes, and the fridge makes everything cold, yes, and so your Guinness stays cold. Cold Guinness? Brilliant! And then at
I
the
like the
end,
idea.
you see the fridge just shaking. It's like, I can't get out. You're not supposed to get in. Not get in the fridge? Brilliant! It's insane, but it's amazing.
I'll be right back. I have something to show you.
Oh,
It's
okay.
Lenore involved.
Oh, what could possibly go wrong? I just realized there's a little curve on the front of these things, so we'll just switch them about. Oh, Ryan, what did you say? What word did you say, Ryan? Don't say it here. We're not doing the Twitch speed run. Twitch bans.
Alright, so this is something I made in anticipation of the stream that got canceled, but...
Brilliant!
Brilliant!
Oh, that's amazing.
I was trying to work out like a string system that I could just like have her land on my shoulder, then reach over and pull her back up out of camera. I'll still try to get that done before next stream.
See, this is one thing I enjoy about your approach to roleplay. Like Aces over Kings, it's pretty much all in, and I appreciate that, you know?
Oh yeah. I have a saber in here, but I don't think I'll try to bring any weapons. I think I'm good with the paintbrush and Lenore.
Yeah, okay, look, that's fair. Swinging the saber about might create some issues. Okay, we don't have any normal wooden walls here, but we're not putting Victorian walls in the loo.
Oh, did you see the new like texture pack?
The
Or
Gothic
like the
texture?
four? Yeah, the four like huge things they drop. There
I've
might
seen the
be...
Gothic horror. That's all I've noticed so far. Keegan here is also a bit of a map maker, so we've had a lot of fun behind the scenes throwing a few things backwards and forwards. And we might do we drop the Aberdeen and Esbos residents as a bit of a teaser treat for the map
Yeah,
stream?
we can We can go through it.
We might do that. We might do that towards the end of the stream.
It's map making after all.
Zachary.
Ed Zachary.
Let's go with this funky composite stone and wood, just because we are in the stone area. I could just be me, but I gotta have the. You know what? We'll make this layer 3. We gotta have our stamps in multiples of 5, if at all possible. You know.
Yeah. Oh, I just had an idea. How are you scaling it like that, by the way?
Okay, so
is there a shortcut on the keyboard for that?
There are shortcuts for everything in Incarnate. Q, W, E, A, S, and D are your main ones. So Q and A, I don't remember. W and S are size up and size down.
Okay.
And E and D change the opacity by 0.5%. I don't remember what Q and A is. That bothers me. The left arrow and the right arrow, up, down, left, and right, obviously move. Shift, up, down, left, and right, move by, I think, a quantity of 5. And your comma and full stop button rotate by 15 degrees at a time. So 6 will do 90 degrees. Yeah, the hotkeys are brilliant. O will take you to your stamp. F from stamps takes you to the stamp menu. OF. You got an admirer, Keegan.
Oh yeah, that's my buddy Ant.
He's got that baby face that I just don't have anymore. I'm too hairy to be baby faced. It's sad, but you know, I just gotta go. I gotta be me. I apologize for everything. No, I don't.
No, that's my buddy Andy. He plays Gregor on Let Us Quest, our bloodthirsty dragonborn.
Hello, Andy. Thank you for the subscription. Big shout out. Something we got to do.
Oh, thanks, Andy.
During the streams, actually, we got to be more vocal on shouting out our subscriptions at the end, obviously. But we got to, you know, like we'll finish up 10 minutes before the second hour is up, and we'll do a readout. If anyone's subscribed, give them a shout out, that sort of stuff. We might even give Andy a bit of a shout out on Tuesday night, Wednesday. Just shout out our map making community, because why not? I love our map making community here. It's a fun, quiet, little chilled out sort of stream, and I'm here for it, you know. Now let's get some very small wooden walls for. What's the difference between slight texture difference, I guess.
I think it's, yeah. I had an idea too.
Yeah.
Excuse me. They had a cage that was part of the new texture pack, and you could use it as a wastebasket.
Oh. Brilliant. We'll go look for that, and we'll chuck a wastebasket behind a desk or two. And that'll just sort of put it in my brain.
I don't remember if they had metal ones or not, but I know for a fact there's wooden ones. I've actually, the Aberdeen map, the Espis and Aberdeen apartments, I made those on my phone, which is a lot more difficult than I thought it was going to be.
I don't doubt that. I dread the thought of just making it on my iPad, and that's got a
Yeah,
nice big screen. I've got the pencil because I'm a yuppie. Uh, that's crazy, man.
I just set Google to desktop mode, and then I sat in the recliner and had my Bluetooth mouse, and I just
Okay,
watched
that's
TV and
cool.
do it like that.
That's
It's not
cool,
as
man.
easy as like a laptop.
If uh, if Incarnate made an app, I'd pay money for that shit.
I bet it's coming.
So am
I don't know
I.
what.
Sorry. I'm
Um,
not sorry.
I don't know what their subscriber base is, but they got the. I imagine it's pretty big, and I bet there'd be a market for the mobile app.
Now let's get one of these small boys. And actually, no, we can go a wee bit wider than that. Because mostly, I was thinking the stalls are fine, and then I saw this front door here looking straight into someone on the shitter and thought, maybe that's not, maybe this is not the way. I will show you the way.
Andy, little Lep would know. When we were in high school, we had a an open stall situation in our boys' locker room, and it was I think it was for there all 4 years. If anyone had to go to the bathroom, the stall door was just gone. Someone had removed it. I'm not sure why, but
Swanky. So also, I learnt last week if you hold control when you click, you can select multiple placeables.
okay.
That was a game changer. The biggest one for me was holding space, where you click and drag, and check it. You can scroll the map without doing that insane zoom out in one corner and zoom in the other.
Oh, nice.
Right?
That's pretty
Um,
handy.
it might even be worth Incarnate. Pay attention. I'll tag you in the next tweet, maybe. It might even be worth doing a tutorial video for YouTube. Like, hey, here's how you use Incarnate.
They actually do. They have I think it's on their YouTube.
That would make sense, yes.
I can look. I know on their website. Yeah, they've got 10,000. Oh, no, sorry. They have 7,000 subscribers and 41 videos.
I take almost everything back. Okay.
I'll I'll send you the link for that.
Hey, there might be some quick buttons that I've missed, so I'm down for that. Uh, sinks. Do they have sinks? Okay, we'll check all the kitchen sinks first. Yeah, that's not bad.
I like that farmstead one. Ooh. The Pooh Bandit case was a classic, Little Lep, I will agree. Oh, so are you going off anything for this, or is just free
No,
off the
this
dome?
so this one there are no internal maps. We are sort of taken the liberties ourselves. Um, I started with. Oop, don't do that. Okay, so if you hold control and use your mouse wheel, that will also do rotations.
No.
I think we go all the way back up here. Not there. Somewhere in here is the guide image I used. I made, unless I deleted it afterwards, or it's all the way at the bottom of the list. You might just have to watch the video on our YouTube channel. I took the outlines of the buildings on the map. So I actually overlaid the 2nd edition map on top of the 5th edition map just to work out
okay.
exactly the individual buildings. And it turned out the guard post was 2 separate buildings sort of smushed in together, which is where we got this L shape from. I think the
Okay.
bottom section might need to be a little bit wider, but that's not a huge deal. Yeah, so once we had that, I just sort of went, okay, well, it looks like we got 2 separate buildings. We'll, delineate them with the stone and the wood. The stone can be the older, cheaper section, or lower rank section, and the fancy section can be here. We got some stairs, so we can add an extra layer or 2. We might even throw another staircase being constructed up here somewhere. Yeah, we just sort of made it up as we went along.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, is there smoking allowed in the boys' room?
I don't see why not. Smoking's not exactly the same sort of health hazard in Waterdeep that it would be in our world today. You have lung cancer. Lesser
Greater
restoration,
restoration.
greater restoration.
Yeah.
Yeah, this cancer's persistent. We might have to upgrade to greater restoration.
I saw somewhere like in the scope of D&D where you have all the magical healing abilities, there's nothing that will cure your PTSD. So after a long career of adventuring, your body may look perfect. Oh yeah, there's them cages. Your body may look fine, but your mind is probably
I'm down.
worse than anything.
I like that idea. It appears we cannot go smaller than a size 10.
What?
Interesting. Let's see if we can shrink it manually. Okay, so we can shrink it manually after that, but it does make me think that, you know how when you've done resizing, it sort of redoes the imagery for that resolution. That's probably, that's probably not going to be a thing. But I like the way you think most of the time when you're not bringing creepy ass dolls onto my TV show.
Ryan says, "Mind flay yourself with a long and prosperous career."
We might need to create a psychology wing of one of the local temples as a later sort of development when some of the career vets start going off the rails from PTSD.
That was a plot point for a couple of characters in SVU.
Yes.
The stuff they had
I've
to
seen
deal
some
with.
of those episodes.
Ryan says Lenore isn't creepy. She's just a little familiar.
Why not both?
I love it. I love it.
What sort of fancy dress? Keegan, your camera appears to have frozen.
I'm sitting perfectly still. No, I don't. What should I?
And being ventriloquist while we're at it, it's incredible. How do you do it? There we go. The man is back.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, Lenore broke it. Sorry.
Lenore is evil. Brilliant.
Don't.
I don't know how you've got Lenore sitting on your shoulder there, but
I'm usually in like a drafting stool with no back when I'm streaming.
Yeah.
And I've got an actual chair this time. I don't know if you can see it.
Okay, yeah, I see what you've done.
So she's just pinned back there.
think we're just gonna line up some cabinets as our old-fashioned lockers.
Andrew, I know you'll be returning to my house eventually. We've got episodes of a podcast to record.
Oh, he might have you there, dude.
If we can never find the time.
I played D&D at a table with actual people the other day. It was incredible.
At the game store?
Yeah, it was my Thursday
Nice.
night campaign. One of my favorites.
Is that your Strahd campaign?
No, Strahd's on Saturday mornings, Australia, so we did that, we were just finishing up about this time yesterday. This one is still set in the Forgotten Realms, but it's a homebrew, and I'm playing in it, so no DMing
Oh, nice.
necessary. Yeah, it's pretty great.
What kind of character do you have for that?
So I'm playing a bard monk. He wasn't originally a monk, but I made him in 3rd edition, and so he took the Shadow Dancer prestige class, which in 5th edition is the Way of the Shadow monk.
So I've only played 5th edition, and I guess there's going to be a new edition or a half edition coming up within the next few years.
Yeah, I heard talk of this.
Do you think, or what is something that you would want brought back from a past edition?
I'm not sure if there's anything that really needs to be brought back. I like the idea of prestige classes you have to work towards, but I think the notion of having to earn a class is probably not really in line with the current ethos of Wizards of the Coast.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more generous, shall we say. And so, 270, there we go. And I think we'll have to get rid of that one and that one. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be a thing that happens. I'd love to see them play around with some other settings a bit more for nostalgia's sake. But even that, it's like, look, let's be real here. Forgotten Realms was always the setting.
Yeah.
What about you? What sort of changes do you imagine, or would you like to see coming out of?
I think maybe race balancing, or like better race perks as you progress. Because there's some like the Oceania that have pretty cool perks as you go on, and then there's something like the Turtle that gets everything up front.
Yeah, I think they call that power creep in just about any gaming setting.
Yep.
Sort of this notion that everything needs to be reset at some point. Which is fair. They got to keep adding cool and new stuff to make it exciting, but after a while, the idea of playing a human seems, to some people anyway, seems a bit boring.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think all the whole woke not woke argument completely aside, I don't like some of, like, I think there was a comment when Tasha's came out where Chris Perkins talked about the idea, like when they said, hey, you can now customize your own race club sort of thing. and he said, you can still play the elf from the book if you want to be Elfie McElferson, who has his proficiency in long swords and bows, but he's very generic. And that got my hackles up a little bit. I was like, hey, fuck you, man. We've had D&D is quite old now, and we've had a couple of decades of players taking your stock standard characters and then doing something really fascinating with them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, Elfie McElferson, but what if two characters can be fairly similar in terms of, like, all you got to do is flip two of those stats around, and you got your high int low whiz is your nutty professor, and your high whiz low int is more like Forrest Gump. You put the stats in wherever you want. What?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know if I would call Forrest Gump high wisdom. It's more of like he has lucky. He's a variant human with lucky feet.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is. That's a very simple way of looking at the world, and I respect that. I'm not as good at doing Forrest Gump as Ren is, obviously. Something jumped up and bit me.
I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
Yes, there we go. Clearly,
I try to leave the Forrest Gump for him. I do have a few disguise self alter egos made up, and I can't wait to show those off eventually.
Okay, I'm down. Never ever be afraid of the copy paste tool in situations like this.
So I like to group stuff together a lot, and I noticed that
Go on.
sometimes the shadows, if you turn shadows off, like select all of the shadows for one of those like cluster of uh, blockers,
Oh.
group
Oh.
them, like to select them all to start with, turn off shadow for all of them.
How do I do that when the group thing is up? Oh, okay, there's group. And how do I get to the properties? Oh, there they are. Nope. How do I bring this window out like that? Is it?
I can't remember now.
This group feature is good. I like this a lot. It's one thing I think I've commented a few times now. Incarnate really needs to add folders into the
Oh yeah.
into the stamp lists, because the shadows were bugging me, like this little shadow in the top right corner of each group of 4 bookshelves were constantly annoying me. That. There we go. Just move that so the word's a little more visible. Thought I'd have an idea of like keeping the labels on the maps, but bringing them down to like 0.05%.
Yeah.
Okay, show me how to get to the shadows.
So on the stream, it kind of cuts off to the left. I can't see like the options and stuff.
Okay, probably can't adjust that just yet.
Okay.
We'll come back to that. We can make some edits later on. That group tool is going to be very handy.
Yes.
Let's see. I know we looked into this with the shower last week, but let's see if we can find like some steampunk machinery. Not quite. Oh.
Are you trying to make Steam?
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, I think I know what to do for that then.
Just enough to sort of... Actually, as nice as that is, I will move this shirt down here and sit it on the bench and not on the top of the closet thing. Watchmen don't necessarily... They're not necessarily the tidiest bunch. So we've got... Yeah.
We're talking about the customizable race features. I haven't messed with those at all. I don't really like that concept. I'd rather just have the cookie cutter stuff from the book, but that's just me.
The other thing is they're pretending like we haven't had 30 plus years of players going to their DMs and saying, look, I have a character concept and it's going to use pretty much 95% of the elf, but what if he came from a special group where instead of studying long swords, they studied the spear? And the DM going,
Yeah,
okay, that seems balanced enough. Take proficiency in spear instead of longsword. I mean,
yeah.
we made nunchucks for Charise. A not a saber. We made a saber for Gabriel. You know, because the weapons themselves, they're minor variations on existing stuff, but they're not granting extra power. So,
Yeah.
you know, homebrew's always been part of D&D. So if you want to play a slight variant on an existing race, that's not a big deal. You can do that. All you need to do is sit down and chat with your DM and say, this is what we want to do. And he'll go,
Yeah, there doesn't need
sure.
to be all the hand holding involved with the whole expansion rollout.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it just to me seems a little bit I was hoping grouping this would make it a single object in terms of shadows, but no such luck.
I thought I had gotten that figured out, but maybe
That's all
not.
right. Yeah, it feels a little bit condescending, like we got these new players coming in going, but what if I don't want to do that? And all the old people are going, well, don't do that then. Do your own thing. They're like, but unless it's in the book, it doesn't count. What?
Yeah.
And, you know, I'm aware that's me being a bit of a grumpy bastard, but come on, man. Like, just D&D, the whole point of D&D is you can do whatever you want as long as everyone at the table agrees. It doesn't need to be in the book.
Yeah.
Like, not every book needs to come out with a section at the front going, now these are really just guidelines. It's your table and you can make any changes you want as long as everyone's okay with it. Like, so I always, you know, that always went without saying. Okay,
Yeah.
let's let's find ourselves a staircase. I think I want to put another staircase up here. Yeah, man, people were homebrewing races long before they went, okay, here's... You know what? Actually, I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna change stance right here and now. I don't mind that they created a section going, if you want to homebrew your own races, here's a way to go about it. I think the comments by Chris Perkins, I think it was Chris, saying, um, you know, Elfie McElferson, I think that was a massive slap in the face to all the players who've been doing this shit for years and years without needing to be handheld by wizards in doing it. So
That's right, Chris Perkins. You better watch your back.
you know, one day I will own Wizards of the Coast. I will make it happen. Mind you, by the time I could afford to make a bid on Wizards of the Coast, it'll probably be owned by Critical Role. I did not
Yeah.
realize, but Travis Willingham is the CEO of the Critical Role organization.
Really, the guy that plays the Goliath and then the half orc.
That's right. You may also want to restart your webcam. Look,
Again?
most of the guys behind D&D are pretty cool. It's just, I think they've let go of some of the nuance behind D&D, and they've like 5th Ed, it's streamlined everything without dumbing it down necessarily. But I think some of this new stuff is just a little too hand-holding for stuff that should just be common sense.
Yeah.
I'm not getting your webcam at all now. It's just stuck on a loading pattern. Okay, you're sort of back, but now you're just a frozen screen. This could be a me thing. I'm trying to run Incarnate and Steam.
Oh,
and it's a whole
okay.
thing, you know. So
well, here, let me get a good still image for the.
Welcome to Map Making, starring official APOD. Oh my god! And a picture of Keegan with Lenore.
There we go. That's perfect, actually.
That was incredible. We got you back now. I think you just... What on earth is going on with my village type?
Dang it. So, Little Left put in the chat, just know that every crazy idea Keegan has for D&D, he tells me about, and he's got a lot of scary ideas. I don't think that's fair.
I'm going to say thanks for the warning.
Now, I do tell him about a lot of ideas, not every idea, and they're only scary because he lacks conviction. I'll say that.
Amazing. Okay. We're just going to grab these stairs. What I think I want to do is have, like, part of the stairs be broken, which can be, you know, part of the reason that this whole thing is being renovated. It's old, it's worn out, they've ripped it out. Ooh, yeah, let's turn this around.
No screenshots.
I appreciate your work, Andy. I appreciate what you do for me. I'm not saying Keegan can be a little bit terrifying. I'm not... Who am I kidding? I'm absolutely saying Keegan can be a little bit terrifying.
I will never try to break your game on purpose.
On purpose.
They're scary from a DM's POV. So Andy is actually part of my my Icewind Dale campaign that I've been doing, and he is a Goliath warlock.
Okay.
And we're in the middle of a high speed, not a high speed. It's more of a low speed caravan battle. I guess I can't even call it battle because there's just a couple of rogue warforged that are attacking the caravan.
I think we need to rotate this one just to make sure the shadows are all on the correct side. There we go. Okay. Right, please continue.
So you can rotate the shadow?
Sort of. I mean, it's more like in this case, you can sort of see the shadows in the image sort of bleeding into the stairs from one side. So, you know,
well, if you hit the little shadow drop down, over on the stamp options.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. There's the shadows created by the stamp, and then there's the shadows drawn onto the object. Like here, you can see this stair has like 2 tones to it.
Okay, I got you now.
And that stair's part of the image itself. Assassinated a king with a homebrew poison dagger that burned out the guy from the inside out. I can't wait to see what Tenzo gets up to. Just keep in mind, I'm slightly insane as well.
So my 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 spore druid, we homebrewed, like you get, I think it's four magic mushrooms per long rest or something like that. And then I came
Okay.
up with like a random effect table that you can roll a d20 on. And then we homebrewed that you could compress all your uses of the mushrooms to be a magical random effect poison.
Oh, that's
And
amazing.
yeah, I'll have to send you that table. It's pretty cool. That's the campaign where I'm the intermittent DM and we're on a cruise ship, but I can't give out too many details about what happened.
Spoilers, sweetie. Okay, so we'll put the rug there just to make absolutely clear which side is the bottom, which in hindsight doesn't make sense because the way the shadows are going, this should actually be the top. So we're just going to go ahead and move that down, which means I think... See, now the drawn-in shadows are in the wrong spot there.
Hit it with the flip stamp option.
That's not going to change the... that's not going to
Yeah,
change which side
so
the...
you can flip it instead of rotating it.
True, yes. Okay, that's not bad. That's now we've got a single rotten stair, but that works well. And now with all the shadows being the way they are, you can sort of get this visual image of it going up. Maybe we'll just put like a pillar in the middle.
There you go.
Yeah, no, with that whole ooh, pretty. Okay, we definitely try and want a round pillar. Uh, that could work. I want the grey or brown. That's a good combination because that, if we make it small enough, will sort of just look like carved wood instead of brass. Yep, okay, thank you.
Yeah, that looked nice.
Okay, so we got some stairs in. Um, yeah, I kind of want to make this area busy, rundown, not very fancy. We want to sort of tell this idea that, okay, you've got
Oh,
you.
sorry. My bad. I got it fixed.
You're good.
Yep, my bad.
Okay. So, our party started off as very much rejects in the reject watch house. And just because they're overnight heroes, and now they've got their new and experimental task force, that doesn't necessarily mean everyone in the watch still likes them.
Of course.
You're level 2, so we're gonna, oh, good neck cricks. We're gonna, sort of still tell the story visually that you guys have moved up in the world. A little bit. There's plenty of more world to move up into. So we got our rundown broken stairs here. Something needs to necessitate the renovation, and partially it's just because this area is old and dank and where they stuck the prisoners and the paperwork nerds. So why not throw the rejects in there as well?
Of
Um,
course.
and now let's go to one of my favorite stamp categories called clutter. But also there's broken. Let's start with broken. Forgot about broken. Okay. quick scan. What even is this? Busted walls? Broken walls. Okay. I don't know what basalt stairs are doing in broken, but that's okay. Okay, not a whole lot of great stuff, but some stuff we can use as a little bit of extra flavor. So even just, oh, I don't know where I would use that, but that's great. So even something as simple as I saw some carpets, long slender rugs. Yeah, this will do nicely. Green is the color, one of the colors of the watch. So make sure that's at level 0. Increase the size some. And you know what? Let's just put that right here. We'll make it a bit thinner, but let's sort of spin the story that the moment you cross from floorboards to stone, you're in Shitsville
It's
now,
over.
son. See if we can set that on 0. Yep, perfect. We'll make it a little bit thinner. That's a little bit more of a runner. And being on the floor, oh, it's already got no shadow. Perfect. Green and gold are the two main colors of the watch, so that works. I like the gold because it sort of goes with the copper.
If you go back to that and go to the stamp options, I forget which blending mode it is, but you can get kind of like an effect where the bricks come through, and it shows like how thin it would be.
Multiply is not a bad way to do that. I'm
Might
not
have been.
sure that's.
I can't remember now, but I think it might have been lighten, and then I lowered the opacity. Can't remember anymore.
Barely tell the difference between the two. Lighten, like I could just see a difference, but that's not too bad.
Right there would be a good spot for one of those shadows.
Yes.
That would.
Let's have a look. Up here.
I think I made one specifically for hallways.
Oh, so these are custom jobbies, aren't they?
Yeah, I just had the idea when I was like, I could either make like little templates when I'm wanting to show shadow in a room, or I could try to go in and do it manually. And I thought that you could benefit from this as well.
You thought correctly, Keegan, you're a genius. Where's our corner piece? That's our corner piece.
Oh, you could drop one of those in the library too, for that long straightaway.
Now we're gonna have to make that a little bit higher. No, because we rotated that 90 degrees, we're gonna have to make it wider.
Oh wait, do I not have a 90-degree angle one in there?
It appears not yet, but that's okay. Plenty of time.
I can do that right now.
The joys of working with an artist. And not just someone who plays a tortured artist. This tortured artist thing you've got going on, Aberdeen, it's charming to a point, you know. At that point,
I can't. see here. I'm really looking forward to getting more into the backstory of Tenzo. Hoping someone opens up that can of worms.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's going to be plenty of opportunities for inter-character discussion and roleplay coming up into Chapter 2. Particularly once you guys stop running all over the city and follow the clues I gave you. Which, you know, is not a bad thing. It helps. One of the good things about running a campaign online is I can open another tab on Opera and go, who the fuck is in charge of the House of the Moon? When last we saw Waterdeep, oh good, they're an elf, they'd still be alive. Right, I've got my NPC, let's go, let's do this.
I felt bad about that one.
Nah, I had fun.
Okay.
These are great for adding just a little bit of extra depth.
Yeah.
Love it.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Can more than one person be on the incarnate account? We'll find out.
Hold on to your butts, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, now let's go and see some clutter.
How's it going, average taxpayer?
Don't forget, if you are subscribed to our stream, you have access to the amazing and unique Law and Order ampersand emoji.
Oh.
Because we like to reward people. Okay.
Having a beer and watching the stream?
I think the story of the ampersand is it was largely a back and forth between Keegan and I in the first couple of nights of discussing this stream as an actual project and not like, wouldn't it be cool to do this? But we're gonna do this. So I made the ampersand as a phoenix, and then I sent it to Keegan, going, "Hey, I don't like where this is at, but like here's what I'm going for." Keegan took everything I'd done and just moved some of those bits around and rotated them and went, "How's that?" And I went, "Oh my god!" And you know, we just sort of back and forwarded a couple more times, and by the end of the night, we had this logo, we had the law and the order with the font, and I think once we made the server with law and order on it, we added all the first group round of players, and then once we dropped that law and order that we're using today, that logo in there, that's when everyone just went, oh, this is really happening, isn't it? This is going to be great. So,
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
Yeah. That was a great night.
I need to make some more, like maybe just like cut out heads for the stream, the chat, so we can have more than just the ampersand. Or actually, is there more than just the ampersand?
I don't know if there's a way to make more custom emojis for like, you know, if you subscribe you get more than just the one custom emoji. I hope there is. Yeah, Keegan, I'm not gonna. I thought when Keegan showed me some of his earliest stuff on that he'd made on Hero Forge, I'm like, that's really cool. The guy's got some skill. I mean, clearly he's photoshopping some of this. He was not photoshopping some of this. Okay, the backgrounds, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, everything else. I think maybe once you get partner, Ryan, that's when you probably start unlocking more emoji slots for everyone else. But
I guess that's what I was thinking.
I think we're probably a wee while off partner yet. We're probably going to spend the next 6 months or so just sort of ticking away at this affiliate level, which, you know, we hit immediately and it was amazing. And then I think we'll probably pick up a signal boost of some sort, and that's when we'll start making large steps. I'll just start schmoozing with the appropriate D&D people and be like, hey, you want to come onto a map making stream and talk about where you're at and where you see D&D going? Pretty please. And then, we'll go from there.
Yeah, Andy does get a sneak peek of my designs.
So he saw the City Watch before I did.
No, since we're on like really different time zones, I'll send something to Andy and I go, I'm gonna send this to APOD later, and then he'll go, oh, he'll love that.
Nice. I'm down.
I can't wait to show you so I've been looking further into the future for like conjuration spells and stuff, and I've been like designing some demons and stuff out of the book, and that's where I came up with Monster Mash. I think I showed you the Star Spawn aberration.
Yeah, I think so. Right. So we'll get that one, and we'll make it a wee bit darker. And now instead of 2 wooden roofs, we got some stacked pallets of wooden, not contrast, don't do contrast, do brightness. We got some stacked pallets of wooden slats and shit.
Nice. I dropped the corner shadow.
Oh,
but
nice.
You might have to.
Yep.
You might have to reload the tab.
That's okay.
For that to show.
Let's have a look. Clear that out. Yeah, probably. That's okay. You know what we should do, because we haven't done it yet? There's been 166 changes. Let's go ahead and smash that save button. It's something I do far too often. To the point where Incarnate goes, hey, you've made a lot of changes since you last saved. Are you sure about this? I go, no, I'm not.
So the program I use at work is Inventor, and there is no autosave feature, which is ridiculous.
That's terrifying.
And sometimes, like, you'll get going on something, and then you'll forget, and then you'll lose about 2 hours of work, which happens, like, maybe once a week, a couple times a week.
Oh, that's terrifying.
Pretty frustrating when you're trying to hit deadlines and stuff.
Yeah. Maybe you want to put up like an hourly reminder on a phone or on a little app on your computer that says hit the save button.
Yeah, or just like somehow make a macro that does it for you. You should probably get IT department on that.
That's not a bad idea. See, I was just reloading that tab. See if I can grab the that corner shadow. Because I could already see a spot where we could put that. I wish there was a way to remove custom assets, because I'm not going to need these back anytime soon, you know?
You can. If you click on it, there's 3 dots in the top right corner. Of the asset, and then you can just hit delete on it.
Oh, I see why I couldn't see it.
Oh, it's huge. Sorry.
That's what he,
Oh, goodness.
That works. That works well. Okay,
Nice.
now, the other thing that wants doing...
There's a version of a pig in a blanket that uses a donut instead of a croissant.
What?
I wonder if this is a setup for a joke. I know there's a burger that uses donuts for buns, but that's just an American heart attack way of life.
That sounds legitimately terrifying. Interesting, but terrifying. Slightly off-center angles are the shit, you know?
Very nice.
Zoom out, see how that looks. Not too bad. I think maybe we want to turn the shadow off of that, seeing as it's directly on the floor. Yeah, that looks a bit
That's a
better.
big L. That's a big L in the morning, Andy. Throwing up from seeing something that disturbing.
Is pig in a blanket, I assume then, is a sort of food?
Oh yeah. So it's a hot dog wrapped in a crescent roll. Like you get, I don't know if they have them in Australia. It's like a tube that has crescent rolls in it. Like
It's
Pillsbury
a
makes
croissant.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
croissants French, I believe, so you know they're
Yes.
propagated elsewhere.
And this is an American bastardization, and you just wrap it in you wrap the hot dog in this dough triangle from a tube, and then you bake that. I don't know how would that work with the dough with the donut. You just stick the hot dog through the middle, like it's some kind of sex ed situation.
Do you like
Oh, that's what.
turn it into a circle? You actually form the donut, the hot dog into a
This needs to go on. This needs to go on a broadsheet. The new meat pastries that are sweeping Waterdeep.
I'm down. So what we'll do, I think, is create a hashtag for the Daily Trumpet. Daily Trumpet tips. And people could have people could just write in with like, what if? Or,
Ooh,
you know, hear me out. Weird D&D concept. Hashtag Daily Trumpet tips. And we'll work it into the background life of Waterdeep.
nice. I
I'm
like
down
that.
for that. I'm down, absolutely down for that.
We need to get a separate Discord server.
Yeah, I think it's about time to get a public Discord server set up. What do you guys think? Do you want somewhere to hang out and talk a bit more in between episodes, map making sessions, monster mashes?
I think there'd be an audience for it. Um, and
Yeah,
just be a good way to get audience feedback.
yeah, I'm down for that.
Maybe we can get Ren to.
Because we can also have a Daily Trumpet tips section in there, which I think would go down well.
Ryan says he's in too many servers. Hey man, just leave a server.
Yeah, Ryan, do you know that you can group your servers into folders and then just close the folders? That's what I do. Oh, the Great Emu War. Well, I feel like we need an appropriately ridiculous creature for Waterdeep to go to war with.
Ooh,
Maybe a bit more research into the Great Emu War is needed.
maybe some axe beaks. No, that seems like a lot.
The
Well,
Great
to be
Water
fair,
Dahavian Axbeak War. Yes.
I will gladly lead the charge against the Axbeak menace. Let me find a good. Um, I had something that came to mind immediately, and
We zoom in there, and we might be able to make that a bit more of a, like a
am I
quantity.
thinking of? Are they called Zert?
I want to get this notion that like we've sort of just kicked a path clear through this back area for records and holding cells, and now I guess those new idiots up the back. You know, you save the moon sphere and all of a sudden you think you're somebody. These fucking upstarts.
Yeah, I'm excited for where the campaign is going. Andy said, "Just saying, unicorns are in D&D, or at least they were until the Great War happened."
Still have flashbacks from the time someone put a unicorn into the old Neverwinter Night server I played on, and certain parties just started losing their absolute shit. The
Oh,
unicorn
okay.
is a
So
sacred beast, and you will hand its corpse over to me. It's like, dude, you're overthinking everything, man. Like, just chill. Chill, brother. Just.
So the monster that I was thinking of is a they're like goblinoid, and they're mixed, but they're like a mix between kobolds and goblins, and it's XVART.
Svarts? Not
Yes.
goblins? Or gobolds? Ooh. Okay. Interesting. I
That
want
could be
that
fun.
stupid legs flying up in the air. Have you seen you know how dogs do that thing when they're playful and they drop down with their front paws out and
Oh
they're
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
When you see an emu do a I'm suddenly playful thing where it just like kicks its legs up in the air, and it is the stupidest looking thing. It's so funny.
Have you seen the edits where people put there's like an emu running around and they'll draw over the video, they'll like add in arms.
No, but I've seen the one where like uh, they have the little budgie running towards the camera on the table, and they'll put a rifle and arms in its hands, have an explosion going off behind it, and it just looks incredible. That's not too bad. I feel like it's missing something. It still looks a little too plain copy paste. I'm gonna see if I can throw some like stone bricks in there just to mix up the
Yeah.
clutter a bit.
Um, Broken furniture. Throw some broken furniture in there. It just looked like they gave up and just started a furniture pile.
Yes, yes. I'm having flashbacks to the house I grew up in.
Andy said he's surprised I didn't say red caps. Red caps are pretty cool.
Red caps are great. I like the Dresden Files take on red caps. Like this, there's a red cap in the Dresden Files who's just a little bit more. Just had a thought. I'm just gonna throw a messed up bear rug in there underneath all the clutter.
Oh, there you go.
Let's just drop you down to. Okay, I think though what we'll have to do then is take some of this rubble. Let's try. Not that one. Not that one. Okay, let's just zoom in.
And so this is separate from like the guard post, like barracks, right?
Yeah, so I'm thinking we're going to put the barracks upstairs.
Ah, okay, that makes sense. If you ever need me to make one of these, like just like off stream, hit me up.
Yeah, I'm
I'll
down
be
for that.
glad to help.
Um, well, one of the advantages of having all the overlays in one place is if you want to take over the map stream for a couple of weeks or a month, like just go, hey, I want to make this building, and just take the map stream for a couple of weeks until you've made that. We'll just take turns or something.
Okay.
It's amazing and slightly disturbing just how much of the stream we sometimes plan out on during the map making. But I also like giving our map stream watchers a. But which part of the abyss? I'm gonna move that up
Yeah, I don't
slightly.
see that causing any problems. Just a portal to another plane.
We'll just have that sort of tucked up in there a little bit. We're sort of just creating a scene of the further back we go, the more chaos there is, at least until you get into records, or these three little spots that people have started carving out for themselves in amongst the chaos. We'll stick one of those in here as well, because what's the point of having storage if you don't risk breaking your ankle to get something from the storage? Okay, that looks considerably better. But I think what's missing is a pile of broken furniture right in the middle of the renovation area, of
Oh
this middle
yeah.
bit.
Someone forgot to sweep it up.
Yeah. Or, someone was tasked with cleaning up all the broken furniture in here, and they're like, well, it's one neat pile now. What else you weren't going to do? You guys might have to grease some palms to get the renovations done a little bit more quickly. Maybe you can pay off some urchins to come in and clean it out, and then track them back down
Yeah.
if they've stolen some shit.
Or I could just conjure a Cloaky, have him get to work.
You might be onto something there. Okay, let's find. Uh,
Andy, hopefully none of the chairs are mimics. Oh, I showed you the mimic I made in Hero Forge. I think I
I'm
did.
always here to see mimics.
I'll send you a link for it.
So unfortunately, you can't just sort of paint over an existing. You can't paint over something you've just put down, which bothers me a little bit. But
And I mean, unless you flatten it to the background.
true. But that still involves place, flatten, place, flatten. It would be nice
Yeah.
just to have a mode, even if it's just press shift and then keep clicking to pile stuff up. Uh,
Yeah.
let's go back to the gallery. We'll stick put a couple of broken couches underneath.
Andy, if you're in town again, you can drop that mimic off and I could paint it for you if you'd like.
My players in Curse of Strahd adopted a pet mimic from the starting dungeon, and I've written up a custom mimic.
Oh, wow.
Essentially player class so that he can level up with them. So that's I've made an entire mimic class. I'm not completely comfortable with it just yet. One of the subclasses needs tweaking. But this mimic is a Simulacrum Mimic, meaning he can become a simulacrum of more complicated creatures.
That's interesting.
So at present, at level 7, he can take the form of a quadrupedal dog-like creature for X hours, where X equals Constitution bonus. And yes, that looks much better. And just a wee bit more clutter around here. And last level, you can now mimic a bipedal humanoid creature for a very short period of time. Let's
That's pretty cool.
stick that up on top.
Or you want to keep like as little homebrewed stuff out of Lore and Order as you can, or?
I'm not sure yet. I think for now I'd like to keep the homebrew predominantly cosmetic.
Kind of like what I did with
Yeah.
Lore.
I'm thinking I would love to see, and something I should send to Veronica and Jelly for when she joins us to see if she wants to be a ranger alongside Gabe. I did write a custom ranger subclass just for Waterdeep, or for the
Gotcha.
setting of Waterdeep. So that includes. I think I know I've posted it to Twitter a couple of times. I might post it under Law and Order. It includes an ability to.
1 second.
Okay. We'll pick that up in a few moments.
Hey, I'm gonna have to dip out a little bit early.
That's fine. We got about 15 minutes left on the stream, so I'll sort of hold it from here, and you
Do I
go
need
take
to like
care of
stay?
business.
Do I need to stay in
No,
the call?
that's okay. Keegan, if you want to wave goodbye,